Hello and welcome to another episode of Tri Talk. My name is Oliver Tonder, and today with me is my wonderful co-host Aneta Grabmuller Soldati. We have a special guest planned for you today, Marta Menditto. Marta is a staple of the XTERRA World Tour. She's always fighting for the podium, fighting for the top five in the women's races. She does a lot of races. She represents Italy, and we're incredibly happy to have her on the podcast. Marta, welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Marta, could you give us a small introduction to who you are for the listeners? You know, what do you do, and how do you get to why are you on the podcast?
I don't know why I'm on the podcast, but yeah, I'm Marta. I'm from Italy. I especially do XTERRA. I'm 26 and I like to travel the world, and that's it.
Yeah. So usually I give our listeners kind of a rundown of the profile of each of the athletes that we talk to. For me, it's a little bit difficult, maybe, or it's not difficult to characterize you. I think as an athlete, I think I view you as incredibly consistent. Your best results this year came from Taiwan, where you got third place, and then from Quebec, where you came second. Those were really nice results. Um, and I would say you don't, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like you don't have necessarily like a strongest discipline. You are just incredibly consistent across all of these disciplines. You are a really good swimmer, a really good bike rider, and a really good runner. I think maybe run is maybe your strongest discipline, but it's not like you have a unbalanced profile like maybe a different athlete
Like me.
does. Maybe like Anata, yes, exactly. But how do you view yourself as an athlete? Could you maybe help me and the listeners understand, what your strengths and weaknesses are?
Yeah, I think I don't really have a good swim, but yeah, I think I can say that I'm balanced. I think for sure the run is the one that I like the most, but I think I'm not still able to run as I can after the bike, because anyway I think that I'm not really perfect on the bike too. So it's for that I'm trying to working as most as I can on the bike for having a good run at the end. Yeah, I think I can say that the run is my best, maybe because I show it in Belgium, because it was a duathlon, and I think I had a really good run at the end of the race, the second run, and yeah, I think maybe Belgium was one of the race where I feel better in my second run at the end of the race. But yeah, for sure, I agree with you to say that maybe Taiwan was one of my best results last year. And yeah, the goal for last year was to be consistent all over the year. But I'm not sure that I did it, because at the end of the year I was really tired. And yeah, after Australia, I think I arrived in Molveno and also in Prakatice. I was really tired. So I was not really happy of my season at the end of it. I was I was happy for the start of it, but not for the end. So I'd like to have a better season this year.
It was actually one of our questions because you posted on Instagram at the end of the season, like, I'm not really sure whether I'm happy or not. So I think you just answered that you came to a conclusion that you're not very happy. But I think you still had some very good results in. But something else that struck me when you introduced yourself, you said you're 26 years old, but your Xterra nickname is Xterra Kid. Are you still a kid?
I like it, and it's this nickname born because I did my first Xterra when I was a kid at Xterra France, and it was the Xterra Kids, the race. So it's born in 2013, so it's for that. And I like this nickname. It reminds me that I started from it, and now I'm here with the elite, and it was my dream when I was 14 years old. to be an elite.
And I think you are one of the few, like, pure Xterra athletes. Like, when we scroll down your results, there is no road triathlon, there is no Olympic distance triathlon. It's only Xterra and cross triathlons.
Yeah, for the most, because when I started, I did a bit of road triathlon because I was really young and for doing just cross triathlon. So I did some races on the road when I was youth B, junior, youth A. But after I just moved the on Xterra and I just did it.
And you just posted on Instagram recently that you spent half of your life in
Yeah.
Xterra, right? But when you're not a triathlete, what else do you do?
Uh, uh, when I was studied, I was a student. But yeah, in the last 2 years, I'm just a triathlete. And when I'm not it, I just like to read. That was a thing that I really loved. But when I was studied, I wasn't able to read anymore because I was too tired. So now I just try to focus myself on it, and I try to enjoy the travels and focus on recovery too, and yeah, just these things.
And you travel a lot.
Yeah,
You like to race a lot.
yeah, I like to travel. For sure, last year I traveled a lot, but I really enjoyed, I don't know, New Zealand. It was my dream to go there. So when I saw that there were XR in New Zealand after Taiwan, I said, okay, I don't care if after there is Greece, I want to go to New Zealand. And yeah, it was amazing. I really loved it. Yeah, I because I tried anyway to keep the the joy to travel and to do something else, not to think just to be an athlete and to be performant all the World Cup. I try to keep the joy to discover new places and new culture and new people. So it's for that also.
And how are you going to try to balance this in the next year? Because, as you said, I feel like I don't know. I don't. I would maybe counter you in the fact that I really do believe you were consistent. I mean, you got third in the World Cup. You were just incredibly consistent the whole year, and I understand why you would maybe be disappointed with the finish of your season, because I think Moveno was the race that just kind of didn't work out for you. Where I feel like you maybe didn't perform to your expectations.
Yeah.
Uh, and so, and I imagine that might also be connected to this issue of racing a lot, right? Of going to a lot of these destinations. So how do you, what, how do you see it in the next year? What is your plans? Are you going to travel a lot?
For the moment, the plans are just to do the World Cup. That anyway is so much travels, but this year also because after Australia, the week after there is New Zealand, and I will go to do the XTERRA in New Zealand because I'm already in Australia,
Of course.
so why not going? But after that, I think I will just doing the World Cup and the ITU and ETU Europeans and the World Championship. But after, I don't know, maybe one world races for just to for training. I don't know, but normally just the World Cup this year.
You're one of the people that consistently do the World Triathlon races as a ITU and ETU races, World Championship, European Championship. This year, the European Championship is going to be Prachatice, so Xterra World Cup and the European Championship are going to be in one race. And then there is Pontevedra as a World Championship in June, which is kind of in the middle of World Cup, Xterra World Cup break. Are you still planning to race?
Yeah, I think so because I feel anyway that the ITU World Championship is important because it's anyway a world title, and I think it's important to be there. Also because yeah, we are Xterra athlete, but we are also cross triathlete, so I think it's important to be there. Like that, maybe ITU will continue to do the World Championship, the multisport. Yeah, I think I will be there for sure. But yeah, having the European in Pracatice, it's one travel less, so it's good.
Yeah, totally agree. Plus another European championship in my hometown. Like I can't be
Yeah.
more happy. But I agree with you on that. Like I think it's important to participate in the events of the World Triathlon because I mean, in the end, World Triathlon is the international governing body of triathlon. And if triathlon ever had ambitions to, for example, be part of the Olympics or any of the major events, then it's going to be the World Triathlon that is going to be able to push that event there. So I think it is important to participate, but we've seen that not every country sends their best athletes, and not everyone like consider as prestigious as, for example, XTERRA. But I think it also gives a nice variety because the external races are always the same distances and similarly challenging. Let's say, like some, of course, some are technically less challenging and some are more, depending on the terrain where the race is. But in general, the World Triathlon races and ETU races were a bit less technical, bit more open to everyone, and shorter. So I think it is a nice mix, and I think it benefits different athletes. And yeah, I will also race in Pontevedra. Like unfortunately, I couldn't last year, but I hope this year it's gonna work out, and hopefully, since it's in Europe, more athletes will participate and join.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, if I think in Australia I did like 50 minutes on the bike, it's really different from an Xterra. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Actually, it would be. I always have this idea that it would be so much fun if the Xterra also had a bit of a mix-up. If sometimes we had a sprint distance race where the distances would be more closer to the sprints, Olympics distance sprint triathlon. You know what I mean? Instead of always having a 3-4 hours race and then just a short trek. Like I think it would be fun to mix it up a bit, but. Yeah, that's not up to us to decide, huh?
Yeah.
We talked about this a little bit off air, but I think maybe I'm somebody who's not super knowledgeable about the whole world triathlon series, and especially about lacrosse stuff. Why do you guys think that maybe it hasn't grown to the level that Xterra has? Because I think that maybe there is a market opportunity opening up there where I feel like maybe there's a little bit of unhappiness with the way that Xterra is maybe managing its athletes and its races. That's kind of the sense I get. Do you why do you think that the World Triathlon Series will be able to kind of fill that void and provide these races for these athletes?
I mean, there was an attempt, right, to create a series, the T Natura series.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's a long time ago, but there was such an
Yeah.
attempt, and I think when you look at the World Triathlon, like you see that their their path is very different from cross triathlon or multisport in general. Like it goes more into the long distance direction now with the collaboration with T100. I think the Super 3 or whatever it's called now is also in some kind of partnership with World Triathlon. So I feel like they just have a very different direction at the moment.
Mm. Yeah, I think so.
So, what do you think would have to change for it to be able to substitute what we have currently?
Well, I don't think we need to create another series
Yeah.
that would compete with Xterra. That would only break the sport. Like I disagree with the division of the long distance. Like you have so many races, so many series. It doesn't help the sport. It only divides it. And then you have rarely races where the best athletes meet, and it's just ridiculous and very hard to understand for any triathlon fans, to be honest. But so I think if Xterra and cross triathlon should grow, then it should be a collaboration of the two. Like Xterra should collaborate with World Triathlon. I think that's the only that's the only way how to evolve and develop the discipline.
Yeah, for sure, because XTERRA it's already
Established.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
and everyone goes to XTERRA. So maybe if there is a collaboration between World Triathlon and XTERRA, the same people will go to the races, and it's already done. We have it.
Yeah. It's a ready product. Like, I
Yeah.
think just like with T100, they can make a collaboration.
That would seem like the easiest solution. I just
Yeah.
personally maybe feel like that's not the, as you said, not the direction we're heading. You
And
know?
I think it would solve some of the Xterra problems, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I agree.
Like, there was a lot of questions about rules and which kind of rules do we follow? The national rules? Do we follow the World Triathlon rules? And well, if Xterra was partner of World Triathlon, then these things would be clearer. And but Xterra is a private entity, just like Ironman or Challenge Family, and I guess it's just complicated. There's a lot we probably don't understand and don't see. So
But speaking of the Xterra circuit and of kind of private families on the Xterra circuit, um, Marta, you're part of definitely the largest, and I wouldn't say the only team, but pretty
the
much the
strongest.
definitely the strongest and really the only relevant team on the Xterra circuit, uh, which is Organic Coach, of course. So, and I wanted to know, how does that help you as an athlete? What is some of the benefits that it brings you?
I started with organic coach in 2020. Yeah, it was the COVID year. And when I started, I really didn't know what expected because I just asked to Alex if maybe I can join the team because I was looking for someone to share all these things. And at the end, yeah, I found a family, and I think the most important benefit that I have from it is just that we are always together, and yeah, it's when we have a problem during the race or anyway, when you are at the race, the days before and the days after, they are always there. So it's like to have a big family, and I really appreciate this kind of thing because I know that when I go to do a workup, yeah, it's a travel and it's my job, but I know that I will have fun when I will arrive, and from when I started to be with them, it was the most important thing for me. It was that I always had someone to share my passion and everything, my thoughts, my doubts, because I have a lot of doubt. I have it, so I always can find help from Alize or from Alex for everything I need. So it's just like that. It's not like a big financial help, but it's more I don't know emotional help. It's more like that.
Hmm. And you've become friends on the circuit with Alize. You talked about it in interviews that you guys are very close. You look up to her. Is it through the team that you met, or have you been friends before?
No, we met in the team.
And do you still train together now? I know you've been on a training camp in Livigno some times ago. We've met there. Do you get to train together often, or is it
Uh,
the races that you?
we try to train together, and I stayed sometimes at home to her because I really like to be to her in Chambéry. It's really nice, but yeah, sometimes it's difficult to find each other during training camp because maybe we have some different preparation, but not because we don't like to train together, but it's just because we are two different people, and we have some different needed, so it's more for most for this kind of thing, but we are really happy to share the moments during the race, before the races, and do the recon of the course together. we like it.
And so how does the relationship work? How do you manage it? Because you guys, at the end of the day, even though you're friends, you guys are close competitors
Yeah.
on the circuit. You guys do compete for the top places. So how do you manage that from boiling over? How do you what happens there?
I think that I can talk also for Alize. I think that we are two smart people, so we are able just to be in the race when we are in the race, and just to be friend when we are not on the race. I'm really happy when Alize do a good race, and I think she is happy when I have a good race. So I think we have a good respect of each other, and we are happy for the results of each other. And if she has not a good result or I have not, we are always there for support and just listen if I'm really sad after a race, or if there happens something like to Alize in Quebec. So I think that we can say that we are always there for each other.
And do you guys help each other at all, during the race? Like, because you are teammates, right? Like, some of my
Mm,
best memories are from when I was racing with one of my best friends, and we were together on the bike, on a mountain bike, just
yeah.
pulling, switching turns, and it just was the best feeling ever. Do you ever encounter something like that where you can like pace each other or something?
I have a good memory from XTERRA France in 2022. We spent almost off the bike together, and it was really cool actually because we never see each other so much during the race, so it was like something new, and it was nice because this day Alize helped me so much on the first loop of the bike at Xterra France. I think if she wasn't there, I would have a fast bike on the first loop, and maybe I will die after. So I think it's also for her that I did a really good race this day, and yeah, it was really nice to ride together. Yeah,
But I think what's unique with Xterra is that no matter how much you think that the race is predictable, or what's people's strengths and how the race should evolve, it never does. Like, I think that the whole season, I was thinking, okay, I will be first out of the bar, then Sonen's gonna catch me up, and we're gonna ride together. Like, that was my prediction for every single race. And it happened only once. It only happened in the end. It didn't
yeah,
happen again. So even though theoretically it should have been like that given our strengths, it's just not possible. Like, every race is so different. Every race, like, the different. So even if you're friends and you teammates and you want to help each other, it doesn't work like that in Xterra.
no, never, never, because I don't know. Yes, today I can think, yeah, maybe Alize can help me a bit on the bike because she's strongest than me on this kind of circuit, and then maybe I could swim. I will swim maybe 1 minute after Alize, so I will not see her. Yeah, it's always like that, always.
So
Yeah,
no, unfortunately, you can't have a domestic on a Xterra races like you can have on a
mm,
Olympic distance race.
yeah,
I mean, we know the unpredictability of the sport pretty well. I mean, when we were predicting the world championships for the men, I think I said that Jens was going to win, and Aneta, you said that Felix was going to win, and neither of
yeah,
us believed in the two-time world champion, in our tour, who was just like incredibly dominant, and neither of us could have seen it coming. I think the
Yeah.
way it came, it was so. Yeah, the sport is just like incredibly unpredictable.
Well, talking about predictions, should we predict the World Cup for this year?
Sure.
We can talk about Australia, the first race of the World Cup. That is going to be at the end of the March. We are not sure who is racing. We perhaps have some knowledge on the women's side. I know Anna Zender is not racing. I know Sandra is not racing, right? Or at least she said so in Molveno she is not going.
yeah. I think I'm pretty sure that Sandra will does just Molbeno this year.
Mm. So then it means you and Aliza are probably coming, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I am
Also
coming.
Solen.
Solan
Also
is
Solen, I think.
Solan is in
Solen's
Australia.
in Australia. It would be easy.
And
Yeah.
her friend, Australian friend Hannah, is racing. But that's about it. And on the men's side, I honestly have no clue.
I I know that Felix will not be there, but I know that Arthur Froisier will be there, and I don't know the others. Yeah, Michele, he will come. Michele and Federico, they will be there, and after I really don't know.
Do you know why is Felix not racing?
I think he just needed to train more for more time to having a good block.
Talking about Solen and Jens, they are both racing 70.3 the week before the XTERRA World Cup.
Really? In
Yeah,
Australia?
there is a race in,
Geelong or
yeah,
something,
whatever
right?
that's pronounced.
So in
So
an Australian place, an Australian
it's
city.
in Australia, and they are both racing. And I just found out that Jens is racing the week before that Barcelona half marathon.
Really? Okay.
So a busy schedule for him.
No, I will start my season with the short hike in Australia for this year. No, no surprise.
I don't know if you can count winter triathlon as the start of the season, but otherwise, when it comes to summer triathlon, I'm also starting my season in Australia. It's early enough. It's March, so
Yeah, I think it's good.
yeah, yeah,
27th of March, I think it's a
good
good
enough.
point to start the season. Yeah.
Marta, talking about the predictions, what do you think is? Do you think there's going to be somebody who's going to perform very well this year? What are your predictions? What are your expectations? Be that for the men, for the women, for this
Uh,
year?
I think Solange, she will anyway be strong like the others here. But yeah, after I think that Lise, she's trained pretty good, and I will say Aneta for sure. Also because I think she will be really strong this year. Yeah, and really motivated. So I will say Aneta for sure. And yeah, I think these three. But I'm not sure about that. But I talked with her in Australia, and I know that maybe Charlotte McShane she will come
Cool.
because I talked with her, and she wanted to do the cross triathlon world championship in Australia last year, but she broke the feet just the day before, and she said to me that maybe she wanted to do some XTERRA. So I imagine that she will came. I don't know. I'm not sure about that, but she said me something like that. Yeah, for sure. You have someone with who's win?
Yeah, but otherwise, yeah, I think Solen is gonna be very strong, especially the first race, like after 3 months in Australia. For us that are based in Europe, it will be hard to get the same level of acclimatization and the time difference. So I think she's gonna be unbeatable in Australia. Uh, but at the same time, I hope I'm not spilling a secret that I was not supposed to. But she's not planning to do the entire World Cup. She will. She wants to do some middle races. So she will. Yeah, the overall is not her aim this year. So I think there will be quite a few girls that are actually gonna do it.
I can understand it because she won the both last year. So maybe she also feel the need to change a bit.
Yeah, yeah, she wants some new challenges, and honestly, I think she can be so strong on the half distance. With
Yeah.
her bike run combo, I'm really excited to watch her at the 70.3, just like Jens. Like
I
he's,
agree.
I just saw his training sessions the other day. He ran, I think, 432 kilometers, something like that, under 3 minute pace.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. So, and I think both of them are focusing on improving their swim also. So, very excited to be to watch them.
yeah, you never know after winter what the people focus on. So yeah, it will be nice to see in Australia what happened and then see on the season.
What were you focusing on during the winter this year?
Mm, Now I'm not focusing a lot on my swim, for focus on bike and run. And I just try to catch up with Alessia the most that I can in these 2 weeks that I stayed with her. And I did a mountain bike race with 4 stages because last year, yeah, I was good on the bike, but not strong to be in the front. So I'm trying to focus the most that I can on the bike and on the run after my bike. And yeah, I'm trying to stay patient on the mind and just to work and see if it will bring something during the year. I know that maybe I will not see the results already in Australia. Maybe yes, I don't know. And yeah, I will try to stay focused all the season this year. And I have also to improve maybe the how to manage my days before my cycle, my menstrual cycle, because sometimes I'm really weak on the days before, like you, Molveno, and I want to try to be better on these days, even it's difficult.
I have the exact opposite. I have my
Really?
best, yeah, my best results always came just before my cycle.
Okay.
So when you feel the absolutely worst,
Yeah.
like you are all swollen and all of that, then I have always the best races. It's
Okay.
so, it's so weird.
No, I'm always really sad, and
Yeah, me
it's
too.
the
But
yeah.
somehow, yeah, just the other day I was almost crying at the pool, telling people, "Oh, I don't know how everyone trains so much. Like I see Solon doing 29 hours. How do they manage?" And then I was like, "Oh, it's my PMS." Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's like
Oliver,
that.
can you also like relate?
Yeah, I can absolutely
Yeah.
relate. Yeah. No, but Marta, you also do some crazy hours, right? Like for training.
I stay around. It depends of the week of what I'm doing, if quality or endurance. But normally I stay around 20, between 25, 26, and 30.
That's
Maybe 30.
crazy.
Yeah,
How do you
That's so
people do
much.
it? I don't know.
I just try. But yeah, I don't know. I think is the cor I don't know if it's the correct thing to do, but yeah, maybe for us we are trying to go in this direction. Also in winter I train like that before the races. Now I just do maybe 18, 20. Not the week before the race. The week before the race I really don't do so much. But yeah, it depends of the moment of the year. But now in this moment, I try to stay between 26 and 30.
That's really
Can you
high.
just outline? You don't need to go into details and specifics, but can you just outline your week? How do you train during the days?
Normally, I don't know. Like yesterday, we did a rep section in the morning on the running. Then I go out for a bike, but really easy. And then I went to the gym for yeah.
So 3 sessions per day most of the time.
Yeah, normally it's three or two if maybe there is a big bike, 3 hours of bike, then it's just a swim or a run. So it depends, but yeah, two or three. Yeah. Or if I do four, that it's not so much time, but if I do four things, it's everything is so slow.
Mm.
So yeah, if there is some quality, just two trainings normally.
I'm so impressed by people that can train so much. I don't know. Like I even on training camp, when I can really focus on just training, like I get really tired. Like I'm sorry to admit that, but like uh yeah, if I train 4 hours a day, it's really tiring, and I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like I can't then like if I do that for several days, I feel like I can't put so much quality anymore, and I'm just tired. And
Yeah, but It's true that you said, and I think I have also this problem because sometimes I'm not really able to do a good quality because I have done so much hours. So I think it's really difficult to find the balance because sometimes I start a training and I have to do quality, but I'm not able to do it. So I change the training.
Mm,
So, but I think we are really flexible on it because if I really can't do it on this day, I don't do
makes sense.
Uh, I wanted to I wanted to transition a little bit away because I have, speaking of your coach and of Stefano, what I'm really interested in, maybe a little bit selfishly, is Stefano always goes around the courses and always gives time gaps, and firsthand I know how incredibly difficult that job is because I have been in Prachatica. I was sitting on the run course and I was giving time gaps and placings to the men on one side and time gaps and
it.
places to the women on the other side, of like on my left side and on my right side. And it's just so much information going through your head. And then you also talk to every single one of these athletes. You're like, what do you want to know? Maybe somebody wants to be, oh, am I the first German, or am I, like
Yeah.
like if I talk to Bart, it's like, oh, how far is Dominic, or like it's all this sort of stuff, and you're trying to get the timings between the racers as well. It's just so much to think about. But how do you, as an athlete, think about it? How do you talk to Stefano, and you're like, okay, I want you to be here, and I want you to tell me this and this. How do you think about it?
Uh, we really don't have all the time some spot when I'm sure that it will be. It depends. Like in Quebec, we had two loops, so it was easy to say, okay, I will stay there, and I will say you have 1 minute, 2 minutes. So like that, maybe before the race, he will say to me, okay, I will say out of the water, and I will tell you how much time you have from Anita, things like that. And after he moved normally on the bike, and he tried to send me to time, maybe. But it depends because in I don't know, in Czech Republic where you have a bike course that is really long and so it's online. Maybe I saw him maybe one time because also he has to see Michele. So Michele and Federico and Alize and everyone. So it's difficult to be in all the places. So it depends of the race. If it's two loops and it's easy to see, sometimes you can see him 4 times, 3 times. It's in every place. But yeah, if it's like Prakatice or XTERRA Germany, it's it's difficult to.
I'll tell you Prachatica. So we had a family meeting with a map. I divided them in groups and then placed them on a course around 2 kilometers from each other. So once I passed the first group, they called the second group to tell them the splits. So I had the splits 2 kilometers later. I mean, I'm local. I know the place. I know where you can drive to the course. So it's so much logistics.
Mm-hmm. I would give the time gaps at the beginning of the course, and then I did like a 5 minute effort on the bike to get to the car, then drove like a madman, then did a 5 minute full out effort on the bike to get to the bike course, and I got there just in time, to give some more time gaps, and then I did that again, and it was just crazy. And then you have to go and you park in Prachatica and you have to run to the run course. And so I was literally passing athletes who were racing, as I was trying to run into the woods, trying to give the time splits. Is just so much. It's so much work.
Talking about that, do you remember the Cross Triathlon World Championship in 2021 in Extramundura?
Extremadura. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember it.
I have a picture from the finish line where you are like pointing
Really?
at me, I think. And then you posted something on Instagram that your coach didn't give you splits. Do you
Really?
remember? Have you been surprised that I was in front of you, or or were you just happy that Sandra won? Or I think Sandra won that race. Do you
I
remember
think it I think it was for Sandra. I think so. Because I think we didn't know each other so much with you.
No. I think it was surprise for everyone. I was third. Yeah.
So no, I think it was just because of Sandra. But I'm not Sandra. I think Sandra didn't want
Maybe
one
Loan won.
year.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I know it was Loan, Sandra on the podium, and me, and I
Yeah.
think it's very surprising, including for me. But yeah, I just remember this funny picture where you are like surprised
Well,
and
I was really happy for my race in Extremadura because I came fourth, and I really had a good
you were a
race.
U23, right? You won the
Sorry?
U23
Yeah.
title.
No,
Yeah.
I did second because Loan was under 23.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, but I was really happy for my fourth place. Yeah, I had a really good run, and I remember that I was really emotional at the end because I arrived just in front of Michel Flippo. And for me, Michel Flippo was like, I don't know,
Olympian.
Salzburger, yeah. So I was like, oh, fuck, I arrived before of you, yeah. And I remember that at the arrive, I came to her and she was a bit disappointed. And I said, I'm really a big fan of you. You are really nice for me, and congrats for everything that you did in your life. And I remember that she was like that, and she didn't answer me. And after the race, but like 2 weeks after, she wrote me a message on Instagram, and she was really nice because she wrote me, I'm so sorry if I didn't answer you, but I I want to say you that you were really nice because you remind me that I did great things in my life. So I'm really happy that you came to me just to say congrats. So I was really happy for that. She was really nice to me.
That's so nice.
By the way, just to ask about Loan, is she doing any of the World Cups this year? Do you know?
I don't know.
I have no idea, but I think she just spent a month on a training camp with the
Nam-
Swiss team. So I think
Namibia,
yeah,
right,
in
or
Namibia.
something?
So I think just like Anna, she's gonna focus on world triathlon ranking and fulfilling the requirements of the Swiss Federation to be
Also,
on.
Hannah, want to do it?
Yeah, Anna Zender too. Yeah,
It's a shame we're losing all of our talents.
she's she's in India right now, racing a Conti
Yeah, I
Cup.
saw. I
In
like Hannah. So,
India,
yeah, Chennai.
Yeah, it's an Asian Cup, and I saw the start list, and I think she has a good chance to be on a podium.
Okay, nice. I
I
will
hope she
write a
does.
message to her.
Okay, should we wrap it up? Should we do some fire
We should
questions?
do some quick fire questions. Yes.
Do you
You want?
remember them? I don't.
We have to pull them up, but
Well, I can start with the first usual questions.
huh.
Marta, why aren't you better?
Why aren't?
We always ask every guest, why do they think they are not better at XTERRA? What would make you better?
Okay. Um, and a better bike, but legs not. But my bike is perfect. It's me that I'm not perfect. Yeah,
But do you think it's more physical or technical skills?
physical. Yeah,
Physical.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Okay, I'll start with the first quick fire question. If you could take another racer's skill or strength, what would it be? For example, to run like Artur or swim like Michele or whatever. What would it be?
That's difficult. I don't know if. Mm, I don't know if choose a good bike or a really good run because I really love to run fast. But I don't know because if I choose run, I will choose the Arthur Seria run for sure. um,
I
if
would be
not,
fine with lawns.
yeah, yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. If I can say the perfect one, I will take the swim from Aneta, the run from Loan, and the bike from Solen. And I think I can win. Yeah.
Anata, you'll do a second one?
I didn't open it, so.
Oh, you didn't open it. Okay, I'll do all of them. If you had to train, if you had to spend the rest of your life training in one location, where would it be?
I will say Rotorua in New Zealand because I really love the forest. It's amazing to run and to bike. It's simply amazing. It's perfect. Yeah.
So that's a very original answer, similar to South Africa, which we got.
Where they never been,
Yeah,
which was fun.
it's crazy. And what is your favorite Xterra memory or experience?
Uh, Maybe my win in Exterra France because I had some good memories when I was a kid. It was my first Xterra ever, so winning it was really emotional. It was really a good day.
Perfect.
Well, we wish you more of those memories, more of those moments of victory.
Yeah,
Um,
like
and see you in Australia in 6 weeks.
yeah, sure. See you.
Thank you very much, Marta, for coming on. Thank you to everybody for listening. It's been a great pleasure, and maybe we will have a next podcast previewing the Australian Asia Pacific champs.
And if you want us to bring a guest, you can text us. It should be next.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Bye.